Yo, what is up, Polo Gang? Today's video, I'm queued up with Call of Duty Pro Rencore of the Miami Heretics, and this iridescent lobby I drop almost 50 kills, alongside the Call of Duty Pro. I'll also be showing you my controller settings in this one, so make sure you stick around for that. And guys, if you want to have a chance to play ranked with me, make sure you join my Discord. You can find a link to that in the description below. Anyways, let's get into the gameplay now.
Hardpoint identified. Lead dive. Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint located. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Hard point is secure. Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is active. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Point. Come on, you're losing this fight. Lockdown. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint active. Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. We got the lead. Now hold it. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint locked down. captured the hard point. Hard point is secure. Hard point active. Hostiles have the hard point. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is secure. We've taken control.
SWAT truck.
Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint is secure. We have the edge, but don't get cocky. This shit ain't over. Hardpoint locked. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Crimsix's falling back. Hell of a show today, Black Ops.
Let's go. Alright guys, so before I get into the actual settings, I'm going to show you my controller. I use a Scump PS5 Reflex. I've been using this for about 1.5 years now. And with it, I use 4 paddles. This is going to be my jump, this is going to be reload, this is going to be melee, and then this one's going to be my switching weapons. I've been using a Scump for about 10 years now. First 2 ones were Xbox controllers, and now I finally swapped to the PS5 one. If you guys are still using standard or regular controllers and you're not playing claw, I would definitely look into investing into one of these controllers that has back paddles or back buttons on it. So something like a Scump, a Battle Beaver, Xbox Elite controller, or PS5 DualSense, or any other brand that has paddles or buttons on the back. Definitely a game changer. Alright, so now jumping into the settings, I play on tactical. I'm not sure why it's showing up as custom right here on the screen, but I play on tactical. So I slide with my right stick instead of circle or B. Sensitivity, I've upped this to 1.55 recently. In the past I was on 1.45, but I just felt like changing it, giving it a try, and I do like this a little bit higher sensitivity. Comes out to about like a 6 on the old scale, maybe like a 7. If you have any questions on your sensitivity, let me know. Moving along, I don't play flipped. I don't know why it's showing it as flipped. Vibration I have off, trigger effect is off for the PS5 controller. And dead zones is what I have. Dead zones are going to be different depending on your controller, how old it is or how new it is. Generally, if you have a newer controller, you can probably set it to 0 or to 1. If anything a little bit older, you're going to want to play around with it to get the right dead zone for your controller. So mine's good at 3 right now, which is still pretty good. And the left stick max I put to 60. This just makes it so it's a little more responsive when you're trying to move. Right stick min, I have the same as my left stick min. I have it on 3. Right stick max, most people keep this on 99. I wouldn't really mess with this one too much. Left trigger and right trigger. My controller has trigger stops, so I don't have to press as far down on the controller in order for the triggers to actually work. If you have a default controller, you're definitely going to want to lower this. I would say most people play anywhere from 0 to 5 for these left and right triggers. Just makes it so it's more responsive when you're actually pulling it. And it's important, especially if you have like a default controller, because those triggers you have to go all the way down on in order for the gun to actually shoot and aim. Alright, so now moving on to aiming. Sensitivity multiplier, there's nothing in here to change. And then aiming advanced settings. So I use instant. I think most people use instant. Very few people use gradual. And I don't know anyone who uses after zoom. But I would say the majority of people use instant. I would definitely recommend putting this on. And then your aim response curve type. This should be on dynamic. Ever since this was implemented back in, I think, Modern Warfare 2019, dynamic has been the go-to aim response curve type. So I definitely recommend putting this one on. There are definitely some in-depth videos on these aim response curve types. So if you guys want to go check those out, I would just do a quick YouTube search for that. And this curve slope scale, I just have it on 1. I don't really know what this is, but I think most people just keep this on 1. And then I use custom sensitivity per zoom. I think you have trouble consistently hitting your shots, you should probably lower this a little bit. This is going to default to 1, but I use 0.9. It's just going to make it so while you're ADS, it's going to be a little bit slower. And honestly, I'm a big fan of this setting. The lowest I'd probably go on this is probably to like a 0.8 or a 0.85. You can see how that feels and then slowly adjust up as you feel need. And I definitely wouldn't go above a 1 multiplier on this at all. So anywhere from that 0.8 to 1 range is probably pretty good for this custom sensitivity per zoom. And obviously I have aim assist on and then nothing in here. Now moving on to movement, I use tactical sprint assist. So this is basically an auto attack sprint. I know a lot of people just have this set to on and then they use single tap sprint to the next setting. Honestly, I've been using auto attack sprint for the last couple of years. More sort of like a warzone thing for the auto attack sprint, but I've just gotten so used to it at this point that I just keep this on. But honestly, it probably is better to keep it on. That way you have a little bit better control of your movement. You're not getting caught up with your gun as much in the attack sprint. And make sure this is on 0 for either setting that you have. On mantle assist, I have this off. This makes it so if there's an object nearby and you're trying to jump shot, you're not going to mantle over the object. You just do a jump shot instead. Crouch assist off. Corner slice, I have this off. It's preference. I don't really like this, but I know people have it on. So you do what you like. Slide dive behavior, I have hybrid on. If you don't have hybrid on, just do slide only. Then automatic airborne mantle, I have this on partial. Kind of tied into the mantle assist, but it's already off, so it doesn't really matter. And then movement advanced settings, like I mentioned before, if you're not using automatic attack sprint, use single tap sprint. And that's probably the best controller settings you can have for that movement. And then lastly for combat, here's what I have. And then combat advanced settings. Alright guys, so that's it for the controller settings. If you have any questions on anything, let me know. And with that, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.